How I use credit cards to make money with no money. Oh yeah, you heard that right. Noelle has figured out how to make money with credit cards, but more importantly, I'm gonna tell you how. Let's go.
Noelle. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, or you need to do it better, well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
I'm gonna share with you my real step-by-step process on how I make money with credit cards. I'm gonna share with you 5 things that you can truly buy with credit cards that are investments. And I'm gonna share with you my dirty little secret for how I do this without affecting my credit score. There are so many benefits to being an entrepreneur, and one of them is being able to use credit cards to make money. Now, many of you are thinking, what does being an entrepreneur have to do with making money with credit cards? Well, I'm going to share with you in a second. But the important thing that you need to know is, as an entrepreneur, we do not work for others. We work for our own self, we invest in businesses, we invest to make money, and we're always looking for ways to capitalize on what it is that we do. So whatever it is that I do, I try to monetize it. If I do a podcast, if I do a YouTube, if I speak somewhere, I'm going to monetize that. That is what entrepreneurs do. We monetize our expertise and we invest, we invest, we invest. So now that you know what an entrepreneur does, let me tell you how credit cards fit into this. So how I realized that I could make a ton of money with credit cards was when an 18-year-old schooled me. So let me tell you this story because it is amazing and I want you to start doing the same thing. So many of you guys know that I'm a real estate entrepreneur. I have investment properties, and at one point when I quit my job, I had more than 40 rental properties. And what made all of those rental properties absolutely amazing was the income. I was making enough income from my rental properties to replace my 6-figure job. So then once I quit my job, you really couldn't tell me much. I had my time, I didn't have to work, I had my rental properties, and I was just living the life. So I kind of got bored and I started teaching what I was doing. I would just teach a few students here and there. Well, one of my students schooled me. I had this 18-year-old student in Florida, and he started telling me about something at the time I had never really even heard about called Airbnb. He was only 18 years old, and he was telling me that we could rent some properties and he was able to put them on Airbnb. He had a rental property owner that would allow him to do it. He just needed money for the security deposit and to furnish the properties, and he wanted to do a joint venture with me. He also told me that he could make way more money on these rented apartments than I was making on my rental properties. Now, mind you, I couldn't be told anything because I had all of these rental properties and my rental properties were making me tons of money. But like I said, Noelle got schooled by an 18-year-old. In just 5 months, I had to admit I was wrong. He was making $1,000 to $1,500 profit on each of these properties that he did not even own. Mind you, I had all of these rental properties and I was making about $300 per each unit. So we had 5 units that he rented, and each of them was bringing in profit about $1,000 to $1,500. Now, mind you, this was 4 or 5 years ago. Noelle makes even more money on her Airbnbs now, and I'll tell you that in a second. But the long story short, I knew that Airbnb and short-term rentals was an awesome way to start making money. But now let me tell you how I use credit cards to make even more money. So many of you guys know about personal credit and you're familiar with personal credit cards. You have your credit pooled and you may have a Capital One card or a Chase card or any type of store credit cards, maybe the Gap or something like that. But when it comes to personal credit cards, they really can affect your credit score. Your credit score can go up and down as you use those credit cards. In fact, I've made an entire video teaching you how to increase your credit score because mine dropped terribly when I started using my personal credit cards. However, I've learned since about business credit and business credit cards. I now have tons of credit cards in my business's name, and now I can get all of my properties furnished, all of the towels, all of the plates, all of the forks, everything I need for my Airbnbs, I can now get with a business credit card. So not only am I able to get properties for pennies on the dollars, I can furnish and get them all ready to make money on Airbnb without spending any of my money. And that has been life-changing. So in order to start getting business credit, I'm gonna give you a few tips. It's really easy to do. I built business credit really quickly, but it took me years to find out about it, and it is something that you can do now. Once you get your LLC, your EIN, your business phone number, business email, and business website, and a business checking account, you basically have all of the elements that you need for a successful business to start getting funded. That means banks, credit card companies, and other lenders will lend money and invest in your business. And they will lend it to your business and not report it on your personal credit report. You can build business credit. In fact, I've made an entire video teaching you all about that, so make sure you watch that entire playlist because it's super simple, and I have students getting hundreds of thousands of dollars in a matter of months in their business's name. The great thing about it is it's really easy to do and it doesn't cost very much money. And when it comes to getting a business checking account, I have an awesome recommendation for you. So in order to unlock hundreds of thousands of dollars for your business, you will definitely need a business checking account because most lenders will ask you for 3 months of business checking account statements. So you want to go ahead and as soon as you can, open up a business checking account. The recommendation that I have is with North One Bank. It's 100% online and it only takes about 3 minutes to open up an account. Again, you can open up a business checking account wherever you want to, but I recommend North One because it's super fast and you can access your money through a network of hundreds of ATMs. They have an awesome platform and again, you can get it all set up in about 3 minutes. So check out North One Bank. But in any case, make sure you get a business checking account because again, you can unlock hundreds of thousands of dollars for your business if you do this. So once you get approved for business credit cards, again, you don't want to use your personal credit cards because again, your personal credit score is going to go up and down. But as you use your business credit cards, your credit score is not affected. Only your business's credit score. But the great thing about it is, in most cases, if you make your business credit card payments on time, your business credit score will go up. However, when you do that with your personal credit, depending on what the limit is and your balance, it could lower your credit even if you're making the payments on time. So let's talk about what you do with those business credit cards and what I do to make money. Like I said, I'm able to get properties for pennies on the dollars. I've made tons of videos teaching you that. Make sure you watch them. But now, since that 18-year-old taught me all about Airbnbs, that is what I primarily do. I have an entire company where we own dozens of rental properties that we put on sites like Airbnb, Vacation Rental by Owner, HomeAway, and all of the other short-term rental sites. And it's been absolutely amazing. I use my business credit cards to buy furniture, to buy supplies, to buy toilet tissue and paper and pots and pans. I'm able to use all of my credit cards to basically fill up the entire place so I can start making money. Additionally, I can start renting those properties out for $200, $300, $400 a night, okay, like the one that I'm in now. And before I ever have a credit card payment, I started making money on my properties. That's how you invest and start making money with credit cards. So another awesome thing before I end this video, because you know this is Noelle, I love to share. You can actually also start to transfer some of your personal debt onto your business. Many times when you get a business credit card, they will let you transfer a balance. So when I did that, I was able to transfer my personal credit cards onto my business and then just start paying my business credit cards, which increased my personal credit score exponentially because now my credit cards are all paid off on my personal credit card and I don't have to use those credit cards anymore. So my personal credit score is high and it's intact. And now I have business credit cards, which have higher limits anyway. And now I'm able to use them for lots of things. So let me tell you some of the things besides just furniture and supplies for properties. I use my business credit cards for ads, for marketing. I use it to pay vendors. You can even use your business credit cards to pay contractors, to pay people to do services for you. Once you have a business credit card, you can use that like money and start hiring people if you need to and use those credit cards to pay people before you start making money if you don't have money to pay salaries. This is an amazing way to start building your business and really taking yourself to the next level. So check out North One Bank. Like I said, they can get you access to a business checking account, which will unlock your business funding future. If you want to start building a business and not have your credit score go up and down, you really need to become a business, and this will require a business checking account. Check out North One when you get a chance. Also, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, make sure you click that little notification bell so you don't miss any of this content that I am bringing to you every single day. This is Noelle, to your success.